Oh, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel again. Thank y'all so much for coming over, man. We need to uh find those guys who catch the scammers, man. This video, like I told y'all, there's a lot of old people who probably live alone. I don't know, but they get targeted so much. Woman hands over $17,500 to alleged scammer who showed up at her home and said, "You have to get cash." Be careful out there, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, for all the people out there, make sure you're checking on your parents, your grandparents, especially if they live alone, because people will try to do everything. It is some dirty, wicked, evil monsters out there, man. Please check on your family. We ain't gonna waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
A doorbell camera capturing the moment this Mebane woman says she handed over her savings of $17,500 in cash to a complete stranger.
Every morning I wake up and I'm like, I just want this nightmare to go away.
This woman, who asked us not to name her or show her face for fear of being a target again, but says she wants to share her heartache with hopes of preventing the scam from happening to someone else. It started when she was on her computer trying to log on to her bank account.
I put in my password and username and got to the website, but it wouldn't let me open my accounts.
She grabbed her cell phone and says she went to the number saved in her cell phone for her bank.
She says, "Oh, your account's been frozen." And I said, "Why?" And she said, "Well, there was a suspicious charge from PayPal from the day before." And I said, "Well, I didn't make that."
She says she was transferred to what she thought was a PayPal fraud department, but the call quality was so bad that she ended the call and called a Florida number back.
Remember what the guy said in that scammers video? He said, "Do not go on the phone. You have to go to the bank." And you got to remember, a lot of older people aren't really mobile like that. You know, a lot of them probably don't drive anymore. But if you are, do not talk to people over the phone. Go into the bank, because once you call them on the phone, they really got you. And they're going to take you step by step, and they're going to make you do something that's going to benefit them.
Not clear how she got that Florida number. On the line with them, she says she was told the charge was for $82 and they said they could refund her, but she had to follow their instructions, which included downloading several things on her computer.
I typed $82 and I immediately looked up to the screen and it says $18,000. And then it goes accept, 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 just like that. And I said to this man, I said, "That's wrong." I said, "That's not what I typed in." I said, "That's a mistake."
At first glance, she says it looked like an extra $18,000 was deposited into her account. In reality, which she didn't know at the time, the scammer just transferred the money from her savings to checking.
What you have to do to fix it is you have to get cash, go to your bank and get cash.
Hesitant to follow his instructions, but she says this letter with a Bank of America logo came out of her printer, stating there's a serious matter concerning your account, an unresolved tax issue related to a personal transaction from PayPal.
Wow.
As a result, online account transfers are temporarily blocked by the IRS. The letter goes on to state, "We have not notified your local branch. It's crucial you refrain from discussing this transaction with them."
This is why I said you don't get on the phone. Because they're going to, remember that video, the guy was like, "I'm going to walk you." He's like, "Go to your bank." But like, he was saying, don't talk to anybody. You know what I mean? So, yeah, it's like they're trying to say, if you talk to your bank, I forgot what they said, but this is exactly why. So just don't even talk to them on the phone. Just go right to your bank for sure. They're good, man. Not gonna lie, they're good. But the video I watched, this is exactly what is happening to this lady.
Doing so may lead to freezing or seizing all funds in your account. You can see the call with the person lasted over 4 hours.
Damn.
He kept saying, don't hang up on me, don't hang up.
She did stay on the line for over 4 hours. She drove to her bank and withdrew $17,500. As she says, a man told her she could keep $500 for her troubles.
The bank manager came over and he said, before we proceed, he said, are you being harassed? And I'm like, no, I'm not being pressured, because I didn't think I was. I didn't know I was being scammed.
This is like, it's like a double whammy, man. Because not only did she get scammed, but literally life in jeopardy. Because, like, you guys don't, or maybe you do know, I don't know. But when you go to the bank, and especially when you got to be extremely discreet, extremely. But when you go, you never know who's watching you. And if someone see you taking out a lot of money, trust and believe you will be followed. If somebody is, like there for that. So think about this older lady who went to the bank to get this money and could possibly be followed and somebody jacking her for that. Even the damn scammer will be like, damn it, they got to her before I did, Sheesh, man.
She says she even signed a document saying she was taking this money out on her own free will. After getting the money, she continued to follow the caller's instructions, drove home. This letter, she says, printed from her printer, thanking her for returning the funds to PayPal, and a Mr. Jack has been assigned to collect the cash.
Wow.
Not long after her doorbell camera catches this man coming to her door to pick up the cash. She handed over the cash, thinking the ordeal is over, and called her daughters to tell them about her long day.
Before I could hardly get this story out of my mouth, I was like, Mom, you've been scammed.
Damn.
At first, she thought she was the only victim until she saw this man's mugshot, Lingwei Zhang. She says it's the same guy that came to her door, and she handed over her $17,500. Zhang is charged with obtaining property under false pretenses in her case, and he, along with another suspect, are also facing charges in Person, Durham, and Granville counties of obtaining property under false pretenses, accessing computers, and felony conspiracy. According to the Person County Sheriff, whose department was the first to make the arrest, the two suspects are living in this country without legal permission. The sheriff says they're currently working with the North Carolina SBI and the Department of Homeland Security to identify more victims and suspects. And while the total amount of money scammed is unknown at this time, he says it's close to $400,000.
It never occurred to me that that there was going to be an evil person come into my life.
The financial loss is devastating, as a large chunk of the money gone is money she says is from an insurance policy to pay her medical bills.
Damn.
When she fought cancer last year.
What I want people to know is just because you're tired that day, don't let your defenses down.
So heartbreaking that she fell for this scam. Now, the suspects are still behind bars at the Person County Detention Center, and investigators say the Department of Homeland Security has detainers in place. When it comes to the victim's bank, Bank of America, a representative told me they're investigating the case and can't comment until their investigation is complete.
Hopefully, somehow, some way, she can get that money back. And you notice they didn't mention, because she said she called her kids. She didn't mention the husband. So again, that's what I'm talking about. A lot of people are vulnerable. They're alone. I wish she would have called her kids before, but like when they're sitting up there talking about, don't hang up, stay on the phone with me, all this type of stuff. I don't know if she was on her cell phone, house phone, but whatever the case may be, if I'm on a house phone, I'm getting my cell phone and I'm calling my kids, and yeah, to make sure. But these people are professional, man. They're really good at scamming people, making people feel comfortable enough. Think about that, man. She actually went to the bank to get money and actually had this dude show up to her house. He literally could have got the money and if you don't want to say, because people like this, you just don't know how much they're capable of. But it could have went even a lot worse, if you know what I mean. He could have like went in her house. So y'all be careful out there and check on your loved ones. I mean, if you haven't already, you tell them, like, hey, if somebody's talking about some money and all this, go to your bank or tell them to call you. Tell your parents or your grandparents to call you so you can try to verify. Appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.